Boom. Authentication. Now what does that mean? Put your name in the box. My name is M. Loading records. Loading? Whoa, I got authenticized. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's get in. Let's just dive right in, guys. Over 2 decades ago, Dr. Iris Kai wrote me a recommendation for an up-and-coming international security agency. At the time, I was overjoyed just to be on track. Getting into a growing field early, do good science while the fires of invention are still hot, then dip out with distinction before the coals grow cold. But these days well, let's put it this way. The first time my name showed up as a footnote in cybernetics textbook, I called my parents and invited my friends to dinner at my favorite restaurant. Half a year ago, when I got a write-up in the East Coast Medicine Review, I didn't even open the copy they sent me. So when Iris announced her retirement, I assumed that her Inui, that's that thing from that Disney movie, right? You know, Inside Out 2, was a little bit more advanced than my own. I'm assuming boredom? Possibly? It was a nice party. She was surrounded by friends and coworkers, lauded by her peers and praised by her subordinates, and yet the whole time she looked hollow. Fear of retirement, I theorized. I couldn't have been farther from the truth. STOP, the organization that I've dedicated my life to, has always been at the forefront of cybernetics. The bleeding edge, some would say. We took risks, but it was for the greater good, and we were grateful to every volunteer and veteran that assisted us. But now they're pushing all the wrong boundaries, taking science, my science, in a cruel new direction that I cannot abide. Ooh, training samples. Yeah, if you guys remember in the last one, the company Stop, they're actually experimenting on children. So like, I guess as you can see here, this girl has like a robo eye now. Because the fruits of my research are being used to experiment on children. I cannot fathom how Stop got so far out of hand. But I can find out. I'm not powerless, and the architects behind these new programs aren't fools. If I can present a proper case against this, show them the pain hiding between the numbers and suffering they've whitewashed over in pursuit of percentage points, I have no hope that things can still be made right. Oh, I have hope. I can read. But that hope is dwindling. I thought I granted peace to the world with my research. Ooh, maybe all I did was wreath a new Nero. I got a phone message. Sorry for messaging you at this hour. Couldn't sleep. Having second thoughts? No. My transfer has already been approved. Next Monday, I'm entering the Youth Training and Development Initiative as a supervisor, but... Iris, you've worked with Stop longer than I have. Can you tell me anything about the YTDI? Nothing that'll help you sleep. Well, that's reassuring. I still can't believe this is happening. Stop's full of scientists, not... Good scientists follow the science wherever it leads, right? And I recall a brilliant researcher concluding years ago that the younger the patient, the better the cybernetic sync rate. The research was intended for Stop agents, volunteers, heroes if you prefer, not anyone under 18. Well, the higher-ups would beg differ. They'll tell you that they're providing these trainees with an education and a guaranteed future. Worth an eye or an ear, right? I don't want this to be my legacy, Iris. There's greater good in grafting Where's the greater good in grafting dangerous tech onto children? When Stop was founded, that good was clear. Back when the world was in turmoil and cybernetics were getting slapped onto terrorists and madmen in vet clinics and garages. Stop put an end to that. We put an end to that. And then we kept going, so it wouldn't happen again. Like I said, not the best topic of conversation if you're looking to put your mind at ease. But do try to get some sleep anyway, Deirdre. Okay, so we are playing as Deirdre, who turned into Dr. Danger, the supervillain from last video, the last part. From the sounds of it, you have a long week ahead of you. I'll do my best. Whoa, 27. Whoa. May 13th? It's February 13th today. Crazy. Where are we at? Ooh, my first impression. This is beautiful. Natural light trickles through frosted glass, enveloping the courtyard below in a warm, soft glow. From the bridge I'm on, I can even see green. Grass, trees, flowers, an oasis of natural beauty full of life, and full of laughing children. I can't help but wonder if I made a wrong turn. There aren't any stark surgical scrubs or hospital gowns, and the air smells clean, not disinfected. But inevitably, my eyes are drawn towards the towering column that pierces the building's center. It's a dark momentum, one with few doors, no windows, and a very heavy shadow. My skin prickles. What purpose could...
Not lost already, are you?
Huh? My train of thoughts... My train of thought's grim path is cut short by a familiar husky voice. Hello. Who are you?
Angie, it's wonderful to see you again.
Angie.
Same to you, Daedra.
As usual, Angie is formal, but I recognize the warmth in her words. It's been a long time since we talked face to face. For sure. I didn't think we'd get to work together again. But not every career path's a straight line, right? No, definitely not. Happy as I am to be working with you, I'm surprised to learn that you wanted to transfer here. I always thought of you as... married to the craft of cybernetics and nothing else. I was gonna say squeamish. I suppose there's more to me than meets the eye. I suppose there is. I understand you're planning to write a case study on the work we're doing here at the YTDI. Funny. You've always been more interested in theory than application. Then again, you've always been a prisoner as well. I mean, it's a new program based on my research. Why wouldn't I observe it? Oh no, I think it's fantastic having you of all people here. Going out of your way to help us improve the YTD, that's a dream come true for all of us. In fact... No. I don't want to get too deep into discussion on your first day. Your time's valuable, so... How about I give you a tour? Oh, well, I did request one, but you didn't have to. No, trust me. There's a lot here, more than we could cover in one day. But we should be able to go over the basics. Plastics, permission, practice standards, that sort of thing. And who better to help you find your footing than an old colleague? Alright. Where to first? Awesome. I'm not a professional tour guide, but I'd say the courtyard would be the best place to start. Lead the way. So we used to either work with her or go to school with her? Something like that? We know each other. So that's why there's so much greenery. Of course. We want our trainees to be as healthy as possible, both physically and mentally. And while it might be hard to see the benefits on the MRI, being around trees and plants really does wonders for the brain. For instance, several observation study— I can't read that fast. What the heck? No, Angie, I believe you. Actually, I think I feel it myself. We installed it for all the trainees' sakes, but if that helps the staff stay the same as well, that's a nice bonus. That reminds me, you should see the classrooms too. I couldn't read that last part. It went too fast. So we'll take these stairs and go through these doors. Oh, after you, of course. And if we just go down this hallway... Well, it's a hallway. We're here. Bit of a walk, isn't it? Must be easy to get lost. I suppose. But if you get used to it. Anyway, this is where the trainees get educated. Oh, and what does that involve? Well, we've got all the core essentials. Maths, literacy, self-defense, and phys ed... Pardon? Physical education. No, I mean... self-defense? Oh, don't make that face. It's not that serious. Gym mats and padded gloves and whatnot. At their age, the trainees couldn't hurt each other even if they tried. And do they ever try to hurt each other? Why is she not answering? The world's a dangerous place. Our trainees know that better than most their age. That's not a fun answer to me. The earlier we teach them how to protect themselves, the better off they'll be. I suppose you're right. Did you make a mistake in telling me that? But it's not all schoolwork and drills. The trainees do fun stuff too. I mean, we passed an arts and crafts center just a moment ago. You should see some of the stuff they make in there. We might have the next... Mark Rutko or Ons Martin on our hands. I nod as if I know who those people are. Girl, me too. I don't know who those people are. I'm so sorry. Fine art was never a favorite subject of mine. Me either. Well, I have to check it out another time. Yeah, you ought to. Maybe I'm going about this in the wrong way. You want to observe a trainee for your case study, correct? Yes, that's right. Why do you ask? Well, we've got a class going on right now. Should be literacy at this time of day. You're suggesting I choose my case study subject right now? Could give you a much better idea of what we do, seeing how the trainees actually go about their day. Come on, look over here. Don't worry, they won't even notice us. They're all preoccupied with... writing exercises, it looks like. I don't even see anyone. This is a classroom? I've been in medical libraries with more noise. Well behaved, aren't they? You can thank the more curriculum designers for that. Our trainees are showing a 34% increase in memory retention compared to the same age control group, short and long term. That's very impressive, isn't it? The bell could ring right now and they'd still be glued to their work. If this were any other educational program, they'd be fiddling with their fine liners, glaring at the clocks, doodling in their margins. Look at that child over there. It's just a seat. I don't see no children. Right, that one. He's a bit of an outlier statistically. Really. But I thought your curriculum was, well, it's not 100% effective. Sometimes you'll get stragglers. But we don't leave them behind. All they need is a little extra motivation. There, the teacher's already taken notice. Taking him to the front of the classroom? Is he being yelled at? Yelled at? The teacher might be raising their voice. Hold on. Why are the other children going up with him? They didn't do anything wrong. Well, that's the extra motivation I was talking about. Oh no, oh no! This is so cruel! So basically, if one kid misbehaves, the entire class gets punished. I always hated that rule. Teachers who, act like that, actually, you are the worst. You don't deserve to be a teacher. All new trainees get sorted into squadrons. Squadrons? Like soldiers? Like birds, I'd say. They're close-knit. We expect each squadron to fly at roughly the same pace, so if one member underperforms, the entire group is made aware of it. I know it looks a little inflexible, but the rest are better off learning these rules early. I'm not sure that... He sees us. Oh. He smiled at me. Oh. They're supposed to stand perfectly still for 5 minutes, so that's... Might have to refocus. I've made my decision. Oh, good. So it's trainee. I want the boy to be my subject. And why him specifically? I can't give a concrete answer. I suppose I'm going with my gut. That's not very scientific. Then why don't we call it an intuitive choice made by one of the world's leading cybernetics researchers? Right. But as I said, that particular trainee is something of a statistical outlier. Then taking a closer look at him should help us correct any inefficiencies in the program, no? I suppose I can't argue with that. Huh. I wonder if that's caution. Why are we in a medical lab? This is kind of freaky.
Here's where his quarters are. You're certain this is the one you want to use for your case study?
Again, I've made my decision, Angie.
Right. Right. Just wanted to confirm. Trading C0458?
You don't even say their names, just a number? Could you come here, please? I want to introduce you to someone. She's a visitor. One just for you.
Huh? A visitor?
Try to be quick, though. She's a very busy lady with a lot to get done today. Who are you? Oh. Wait a minute. You're the lady I saw in class. Indeed she is. What's S4174 doing behind you? Shiri wanted to come, so I let her. What a good friend you are. But this meeting's just for you. CO458. Why is she just calling them like, no names, just numbers? So you're free to... Is it that big of a deal, Angie? I don't think there's any harm in meeting his roommate. Right. Then, why don't you introduce yourself to the lady?
Well, allow me.
Oh my god, that's so caution. It's got the same teeth. Please try to keep it short. We only have so much time.
Nice to meet ya. I'm Pavel.
Okay, maybe it's not. I thought that was Caution. I know Caution's kind of like a hero or villain name, I guess.
Though most of the people here only call me CO458.
So Pavel and Shri. I think I can't remember the name already. A serial number? Standard procedure. It's how we keep data collection unbiased. Plus the oh, what did I click? Plus the first class had what? Plus the first class had like 3 Emmas and 4 Quins. So you know what? As in Emily, yeah. I was in a class where there were like 5 other Emilys besides me, so like 6 classes. 6 classes? 6 Emilys in one class is very annoying, and it's even more annoying when instead of being called a variant of my name, because there was a girl who had a very similar last name to me, like her name was off from my name, my last name, by 1 vowel. 1 vowel. So like, I just got called Pinky. I just got called Pinky. Because I had pink hair. So original. Right. What about you, lady? What's your name? Well, Angie, how should I respond? I've never worked with children before. You can give them your name, no big deal. Trainees like to call me Dr. Angie. Got it. Then you can call me Dr. Deidre if you want. Dr. Deidre. Dr. Deidre. Dr. Deidre. Heh. That's a nice name. Has anyone ever told you that? Not, recently. I like Pavel. I like you. Oh. Do you want to introduce yourself too? Well, the floor is all yours.
Sure, yeah.
You got this. Look, Dr. Deidre is waving to you. Oh. Oh, they're shy. Heh. Shiria's my roommate. Normally, we stick together. And if I'm around, chances are she is too. I see. Are you too close? Oh, we're besties. We never go anywhere without each other. Except for class. I wish we weren't in different squads. Hey, D? Sorry to butt in, but I'm afraid we don't have all the time in the world, unless you want to skip out on the research labs for today. No, I do want to see them. Let me just rub up here. It's lovely to meet you, CO 5458. Starting next week, I'll be interviewing you. Interviewing me? About what? To be honest, I haven't quite decided yet, but I think I'd like to talk to you about your hobbies, your classmates, your future. Lots of things like that. Oh, I can do that. I'm a bit confused. Why me? That's a good question, because I picked you specifically. And why did you pick me specifically? That's the word. Well, you stood out in class. I saw you and I thought you'd be interesting to talk to. That makes sense. My teacher says I'm like a dandelion in a field full of roses. That's one way to put it. Wait, what about your friend? I promise you won't be alone for long. Once I'm done talking with you, you can go back to what do kids do these days? I haven't been around them in so long. Back to playing. Did I guess right? Oh, thank God.
Sound reasonable?
Yeah. It's a deal.
We got a test subject. What is this? This kind of looks like different floors. So are these the doors?
Sorry
or
if I
labs?
rushed you a bit back there.
I realized I might have come across as a grouch earlier. It's just... we've been all working a lot of hours lately. It wears on you, you know. Oh no, Angie, it's fine. Not like I was a much better person in the past. Oh God, don't remind me. When you were taking lead on our official spleen development, well, it was like you were in a trance. If I gave you one little tap on your shoulder, you'd snap like a cobra on a rack. Yes, I remember how you put it. Those were long days. By the time we pushed through, I never want to see another culture sample as long as I lived. Here, here. So Angie, about those research labs. Right. From here, the fastest route would be... Where are we going? Case study report. 513-2070X. Initial supervisory report. Though it's been advertised as a youth education program, it is now my understanding that the purpose of the Youth Training and Development Initiative, YTDI, so that's officially what it stands for, is to prepare its trainees for cybernetic enhancement and eventually employment within STOP. While it is known that biotech synchronization rates are inversely correlated to age, the side effects on individuals below the age of 18 are not fully understood at this time and may be more severe than they would be to the adult mind and body. Furthermore, I have ethical concerns about the purpose of the program and how its participants are selected. As a supervisor, it is my intent to observe the YTDI's operations and ensure that the health and well-being of its trainees are being properly upheld. As part of my duties, I intend on engaging in a focused case study of training CO 458 to observe his development under the YTDI's curriculum. For compliance purpose, our one-on-one conversations will be recorded. Dr. Deidre Destrange. June 13, 2026. Whoa! I can finally start interacting with things. Cool. I'm liking this story so far. I am too. I'm really liking this. I like a good visual novel. Once teacher is finished, what's her, what? Okay. That's her case study. This report marks the 1 month point of trainee CO 458's case study, and this time I observed several facets of the YTDI's operations and now believe that I have a firm grasp of the day-to-day activities of the trainees. The majority of trainees selected from the YTDI come from orphanages. Upon arrival with the YTD, trainees are separated into squads, similar to how the ones are utilized by the stop field agents. Formal education takes place entirely within these squads and involves tuition in literacy, mathematics, self-defense, etc. Outside of the classroom, trainees have access to several extracurricular activities, including craft work, sports, and video games. While these activities are beneficial for fostering bonds and growth between children, I find it notable that they overlap with activities undertaken by STOP operatives in the recovery period after the implementation of new cybernetics. This includes sewing for hand-eye coordination, video games for reaction speed, etc. The standard of care appears to be at least sufficient. CO458 has expressed that it is a significant improvement over his previous lodgings. Still, I have some questions raised with Dr. Tan later. Dr. Deidre's Estranged. Okay, what is this? This is her diary. June 6. Part of me just wants my thoughts to blow with the wind. Putting them to paper will have to do for now. Besides, all the blue light was making my eyes ache. The trainees are all orphans. I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that the YTD isn't much different from a standard boarding school, materialistically dressing aside. Compared to the STOP's first few batches of field agents were housed... What? Compared to how STOP's first few batches of field agents were housed, the accommodations here are downright luxurious. Still, that's comparing volunteer soldiers to abandoned children. A strange analogy to put it mildly, but for some reason the trainees' meals consist of lab script, and only lab script. Why? It's true that lab script contains all the nutrients they need to grow healthy and strong, but that's intended for typical NVO's test subjects. I've seen the size of the budgets that STOP works with. They can definitely afford to feed these children real food. At least education is world class. Clearly STOP spending was put to good use there. One time Angie took me to a literacy lesson. Out of the blue, she asked a trainee to recite part of King Lear, and the girl belted it out like it was on a switch. I don't know how useful that skill was, but it was definitely impressive. Another time, the two of us watched as a teacher taught a squadron field pharmacy in the courtyard. If someone eats this mushroom, how would you counteract its effects with only the items in your bags? How long do they have before their airways close? It was intense, to say the least. At times, the teacher's questions felt more like threats. But the building itself is immaculate, practically sparkling. If my shoes track dirt as I walk in, it's wiped away by the time I walk out. Even STOP headquarters doesn't agonize over cleanliness to this extent. I just wish they showed that they care for the trainees themselves, like that boy, CO458. For formal reasons, I can't mention it in recording sessions, but I know his name is Pavel. Was taking his name necessary? Are they that concerned about observant bias? He's an orphan. His name might be the only thing his parents ever gave him. Why scrub it away like it's something dirty, a stain to be removed? The boy's lonely too. Yes, he has Shreya, but she isn't part of his squadron. He's his pre-assigned social group. His squad mates exclude him outside of class. They don't let him play with them, so he's often in arts or crafts center sewing or knitting by himself. Oh, knitting, sewing. We know that Caution does that. And it's not much better in class. Kids roll their eyes when he's paired up with them for group tasks. Sometimes they'll go behind his back and ask the teacher if they can swap for anyone else. Thankfully, the teachers never concede to his squad mates, but that hasn't stopped them from asking anyway. I think a lot of this could be solved if the kids weren't pitted against one another. Yeah, we're starting to see that the kids here are kind of treated more so like lab rats, which we kind of submerged from the first game. All the trainees have their hobbies, but he doesn't have much else. I know he likes superheroes, so I'll bring him some comics from the YTDI's library. Knowing Stop, I suspect the books are vetted, but there's still a chance I might find something that'll make him smile. Maybe I can even use it to teach him. It certainly doesn't seem like any of his actual teachers are interested in personalizing the learning experience. Oh, I also bought a pack of stickers for him. Do children his age think grape stickers are cool? What am I doing? I'm no child psychologist. Couldn't even qualify as a pediatrician. I really jumped into the deep end with this case study, didn't I? If I weren't a senior with Stop staff, I'd probably be sacked by now. Maybe grape is lame. Maybe orange is the way to go. God, I don't know anymore. Guess there's only one way to find out. D. Ah, an old PC maintained with love. Interview with him. Let's go. Hello.
All right, CO458, I've started recording. Before you fall over from all that wiggling.
Yay!
I'm just super excited. I'm glad to hear that. But you can relax, we're just talking today. Really? Phew! My cheeks are numb from all that grinning. I can imagine. In fact, I think I did the same thing in my school photos. You did? I guess so. Though I stopped because, well, it made me look like a dork. That's pretty harsh. How'd you... You still kinda do. Okay. Have you ever been called something like that before? A dork? No, never. Well, maybe a few times. But the other kids don't know anything, so it's their loss. What don't they know? That when I grow up, I'm gonna be super famous and super pretty, and I'm gonna have 1 billion friends. I'll cross my fingers for you. Anyways, we're starting to veer off topic, and I only have so much time, so why don't I ask you some things? Okay, what do you want to know? For today, I have 3 questions. Pop quiz, huh? Okay, I'm ready to go. Great, then let me just get my papers out. There we go. First question, how did you come to join the YTDI? What do you mean? I mean, before you became a trainee, where did you live? Well, I lived in an orphanage. Oh, and what was that like? I don't remember much, but it was pretty lonely. There weren't many others there. No, there was a whole bunch of us. And we shared rooms and beds, the adults' attention too, so you weren't treated as an individual. Yeah, I wasn't. A lot of us ran around. It was pretty noisy, but I was always bored. When it wasn't mealtime, school time, or chore time, I was stuck in the common room with most of the others. And 'cause we had to share so much time, we fought all the time. Really? Yeah. Like one time I wanted to play with the Scrattle board, but the other girl said I couldn't have it because all I did was trace the board's grid with my fingers. So I said to her, "Nuh-uh, that's how you play Scrandle." And then she said, "You're always doing stuff wrong." And then I made a face at her, and then she pulled my hair, and then... I'm assuming you both got into trouble. Yeah. I scratched her and she started crying, so I got punished. I found the rule book later. She was right. I was playing the game wrong. I said sorry, but the way I played was fun too. Oh, interesting. How were you picked for the YTDI? You seem different from the other trainees, at least compared to the others in your squadron. I don't know. One day these people came in white clothes to the orphanage. They didn't want to play or talk or anything. They just watched us for a week or so. Then this loud person told me and a bunch of other kids that we had a bright future ahead of us. And then they brought us here. You must have come from a world away, huh? I don't think so. I fell asleep on the bus because I couldn't sleep the night before. But when I got here, it wasn't even lunchtime. I see. Let's move to the next question. Are you getting along with your squadron? We're all supposed to get along with our squadron. I guess that lines up with what Angie told me, but it's okay, you can be honest with me. Okay. Most of my squad mates are boring apple polishers. They hate me just because the teachers get mad at me and make us stay in class for an extra 10 minutes. It's not my fault class is so dull. And it's not like my duels are bothering anyone. Did you know any of your squad mates back at the orphanage? No. For some reason, I was put in a different squad from everyone else I knew. Squad sorting must be done randomly, trying to avoid pre-established social grouping. Sorry, just had to jot something down. What about your roommate? What do you think of her? Roommate? You mean Shri? Well, she's quiet most of the time, but once you get to know her, she's really smart and kind. And most importantly, she's my best friend. You told me that when you introduced her to me. Yep. She's also my first friend. And I guess my only one. When class is done, we talk about whatever we want and do things together. Oh, and she teaches me all kinds of stuff. Tutoring? Like a few days ago, she taught me how to do my hair. Huh. So that's why you have a headband there. I wear it all the time now. Is there anything else you do together? Feeling in coloring books, playing Mary Mac or a sailor went to sea. Oh, and we read. Though Shriya's way better than me at it. Like, way better. I heard the teacher say that she has 2 reading levels above the rest of her squad. Wow, that's genuinely impressive. I know, right? She's so cool. Which brings me to my third and final question. When Shriya's not around, what do you like doing in your spare time? Sewing and knitting. When it's break time, I go to the arts and craft rooms and make stuff. So far, I've made a placement and a headband and a scarf. I could show you them if you want. Maybe some other time. Okay, just let me know when you change your mind. Actually, there's one thing I like doing, but the teacher says it's not proper. Shoot, the word's right on the tip of my tongue. I know it begins with L and... Is it literature? Yeah, that's the one. Anyways, I like reading comics. There's a lot less words than Shriya's books, but they're filled with cool pictures. I wish my art was that cool. Well, you know what they say, right? Practice makes perfect. If you keep going, you'll get where you need to be. Heh, I'm one step ahead of you. That's why I doodle in class, so I can get good fast. Is there anything else you enjoy doing? Well, there's a lot of stuff I want to try, but class and homework's always in the way. Bleh. I'm sorry. I hope you can get more free time in the future. Yeah, me too. So, that's all the questions I have. I think I'm comfortable stopping here. Huh? You're leaving already? Yes, I'm afraid I'm still catching up with work. Playing? No, you know how you have your classes in. Oh, I get it. You've got homework too, huh? You seem like a very busy lady, Dr. DJ. More so than usual. But I should have enough time to dig out my Scrabble board. You have a Scrabble board? I do, right in my basement. Or was it in the storage? Either way, I'll find it. So we can play whichever you want. Really? You shouldn't underestimate me, though. You're talking to a Scrabble champion. Or, ex-champion. It's been a while since I last played. Whoa, a Scrabble companion. I really do have to go now, but here, please take these. Consider it a thank you of sorts. The stickers. What? What's this? It's a special kind of sticker. If you scratch it, whoa! Oh my god, the little heart of Hoge! Hey, we're twinsies! It smells like grapes. Yeah, it sure does. Is it, cool? Thank you, Dr. DJ. And, thank you for talking
I'll
with
see
me.
you next week. Yes?
Keep bringing in awesome stuff like this, and I'll talk to you every day.
Oh, I'm scared for what's gonna happen now. What do you want me to click on now? The phone? Iris. Oh, okay, what do we want? What do we want with her? I don't feel like I fully trust Iris. The craft center was nice. I mean, it's gotta be a good sign, right? A good sign and a good thing are different matters. Come on, help me out here. Help isn't what you're texting me for, is it? Besides, I'm a lot more concerned about the materialistic commissions you've reported. That can change. Yet every time you critique some part of the YTD, Dr. Tan seems to resist. Oh, not Iris. I'm talking about Dr. What's your name? Dr. Tan. Angie. I don't trust Angie. Angie's always been pretty rigid. She's not a bad person, just very by the books. Dr. Tan is an associate director. She's been around for so long that she writes the book. No one's forcing her to stay where she is. I could have easily been in her shoes, Iris. No, with her I don't even know what that means. I've never worked directly with Tan, but I know her reputation. She's got a savior complex. That's dangerous. What? She just wants to help people. I'm sure she believes that, but she works in cybernetics, and when you're holding a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You haven't seen her with the trainees. Every time we pass by a group of them, she smiles and waves, asks how they're doing. They give her the sweetest, biggest smiles. They don't do any of that to the other researchers. Deidre, she's my friend, Iris. You're one of the brightest people I know. Maybe the best of your generation. So why are you always looking away from the truth? You've seen the lab script, the classrooms, I don't know what that means. Panoptician? I don't know. You don't owe Tan your trust, or anyone at Stop for that matter. They've given their stamp of approval for all of this, and it sounds... They've given their stamp of approval for all of this, and it smells rotten. We can heal that rot, if you say so. I just have to have faith in my colleagues and friends I've worked with for years. We've made the best in the safest world in decades, so I'm positive things will get better, Angie included. Even a genius can't change the mind of someone who isn't listening. That's why the case study needs to go on. I will make them all listen. Right. Anything else you wanted to discuss? You know that trainee I chose to work with for my case study? CO458? 458? Yeah. I brought him a grape-scented sticker the other day, and he loved it. Well then, I take back what I said. Sounds like it's all rosy over there. Who is this Iris person we're talking to? They definitely do not trust what this lab is doing to the children. June 13th again? We're still here? Hmm? From the bridge, I gaze below at the courtyard. As the sun begins to set, it beams softly tint with the YTD's eyes, walls, and floors a pale orange. It's comforting. Even the black of the pillar in the center of the room looks warmer than usual. Warm. I never thought I'd see the YTDI that way. It's worlds apart from my first impression of it 1 month ago. 30 days of observing classes, conducting interviews, and writing notes, and they feel like seconds. I wonder if it's my age. The older I've grown, the quicker time passes. Summer, fall, winter, spring. All of it passing while I am musing over my impending mortality won't get me anywhere. But the YTDI, wait. Her imposing mortality, does that mean she's dying? That means she's sick or something? It was kind of giving us some hints like that in the last game. But the YTDI really does look warm right now. If there weren't any other people in the building, I'd go down to the ground floor and take a nap in the grass. Right now, I'm sure some of the trainees are doing the same. Children shouldn't have cybernetics or lab script diets. The YTDI is an affront to my research. Any sane person would agree with me. That's why I'm doing everything I can to shut it down, behind the backs of the people who run this program. But I can't object to giving children, unwanted children, a home, an education, a guaranteed future. They don't have to hunt for scraps or wake up each morning and search for shelter over their heads, as long as they stay near the YTDI. Hey, I don't trust you. So we've seen what's going on here, and we're actually trying to take it down in secret. Once again, Angie's voice cuts my thoughts short. Did I interrupt something? You look pretty contemplative. I can't say that word. No, it's nothing. Could have fooled me. Am I that easy to read, Angie? Far from it. I've needed a lot of practice. Huh. Guess you've had plenty of opportunities to do so. So what can I do for you? Oh, it's nothing work related. Not like I have trainee info to give you anyways. I just wanted a chance to catch up. You've been here for what, a month now? Would you look at that? 1 month exactly. Lucky guess. You want to take a stroll? They say walking and talking gets the blood flowing. Talking gets the blood flowing. More like standing here staring at nothing. Come on. We've got a lot to catch up on, don't we? We began to walk around the bridge perimeter. Our pace is slow, aimless, lazy even, and our conversations just as yeah. See any films lately? Any takeout places you'd recommend? I know modern art's not your thing, but I think you'd enjoy this new exhibit. And if you don't, you can pick where we have dinner next time. As we chat, my whole body relaxes. It was like this in the beginning, waiting around the outside of Stop's headquarters, excited to take Angie out for our pre-weekend burgers and milkshakes. We were young, and the world didn't make sense, but our work always did.
Hey, D. D?
I hear Angie calling my name, and my mind snaps back into focus. Is something wrong?
No, nothing.
I was just wondering if you're ready to, you know, bring up what was going on earlier. Oh, that. No pressure. If you're not up to it, no, I am. I just need a moment. Take all the time you need. I take a deep breath to think about how to approach this. Actually, can I ask you a question? As a friend. Go ahead. I'm all ears. Is my dog about to throw up? Please do not. Hello, sir. Oh my god. He burped and I thought he was gonna throw up. Ew. Why did you end up working for the YTDI? That's a big question. It's one that's been on my mind a lot lately. I can speak. You saw the classified file, yeah. Pardon me? The one with the summary and the photo. How do you know about that? A disgruntled employee blew us up a few months back, swiping a bunch of files and taking out the contacts and tried to shop them out to anyone who would listen. That was around the first time you were curious about the YTDI, right? Yes. People asked me if I knew about it. Of course, at the time I didn't have the full picture. You saw those animal rights groups. The ones with the ridiculous PR teams. They demonize undergrads for dissecting rats. Blast the web with oversaturated gory photos, sensationalized blog posts, and social media campaigns. The works. Cherry pick their information to make normal scientists look vile and make themselves look heroic. But those lab researchers care for those animals like they were their own pets. There's piles of paperwork, elaborate onboarding procedures, frequent inspections on their welfare. Even on a practical level, they discourage their suffering. There aren't any rats at this facility, Angie. Of course not. Just wanted to make an analogy. You can't compare children to rats. You know, people exaggerating things and all that. Okay. Then I apologize for it. No, I'm glad you pointed it out. Don't want you to take anything I said the wrong way. You were gonna tell me about why you joined YTDI? Right. we went off topic. We didn't. Everyone has the right to a bright future. Most of these trainees don't come from pleasant backgrounds. Most of them are orphans. Many of them lived in places that couldn't even feed them once a day. So if Stop hadn't intervened, their futures would have been... Well, that's why I think the YTDI has potential, you know? It provides its trainees with housing, a community, a secure life. And giving them a secure life, the YTDI will prevent future crimes. So in long term, the YTDI will contribute to Stop's rise and... yeah, exactly. And in short term, we're changing these trainees' lives for the better. Still, seeing children receive cybernetic enhancements, that doesn't sit right with me. I understand. You don't want to be remembered as the mother of cyborg children, do you? I don't have anything to say to that. She's spot on. We don't do anything here for fickle reasons. Subjects are only ever cybernetically enhanced if we feel that their quality of life could be improved. That file you saw? All those photos? Every one of those children are physically disabled. But I saw there was a blonde girl with an eye. Trainee 02145. I remember. What does that mean? Enophthalmia? Her poor vision was causing her to struggle in class, so they gave her new eye. Now her essays are on par with some of the top students in her squadron. I see. Some of those trainees came here with congenital defects, others with injuries from horrible accidents. We've only ever used cybernetics to help with level the playing field between them and their abled squad mates. My shoulders feel lighter, my brow unfurrows. I'm relieved to hear that. And I'm relieved to know that my legacy hasn't been completely tarnished. What?
I want you to know if you have any concerns, you can always come and talk to me, or just vent, if it's after hours.
Almost feels like old times.
Yeah, we're practically kids again.
Hey, wanna come to the arts and craft room? Wait, isn't it for trainees? So, most of them are in rooms right now. Even if it's true, you know I'm not good with... Oh, I'm not expecting the next cloud gate or anything. It's just to decompress. Fine. Fine, I'll come. Yes. But in return, I get to pick the restaurant for dinner. Oh, so we're eating out again? Just like old times. Heh. Just like old times indeed. Oh. Oh, it's now August. My computer again. Interview again. Another one.
Oh, the video camera wasn't on.
Oopsie. Guess the world will never know the results of our grand Scrattle match, huh?
It's quite a shame. Your skills have improved tremendously. But I lost again. Well, I was a Scrattle champion. You just learned this rule set a couple of weeks ago. I mean it. You are very good. I think you could go toe-to-toe with Shreya now. Oh. Have you foolish adults finally reevaluated my reading ability? Oh wait, I don't think Shreya knows how to play Scrattle. Could you teach her? From what you told me, I think she'd be a wonderful player. Maybe. I just don't know if I'll have the time, you know? What do you mean? Did something happen? Can I tell you a secret? Okay. My teacher asked me to stay behind in class. I thought he had spotted me drawing again, but he told me I didn't have to study anymore because one of the researchers had talked to him. That's strange. What did they tell him? Well, they said that I'm gonna go through my first processing. Processing? What is that? I don't know. None of us know. I mean, I know that everyone eventually gets processed, and that process trainees graduate, and that when you graduate, you leave the initiative. That's rather vague. That's what I said. They must be hiding something. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. When I think about it at night, I can't sleep. It makes my skin all prickly. But you know what's really strange? None of my squad mates are getting processed with me. Is that unusual? Yeah. We always see other trainees leave for processing in groups of 2 or 3 or 4. Never one. I'm not stupid. I know why I was picked. It's 'cause I doodle in class. 'Cause I forgot my homework. 'Cause when it's time for group projects, none of my squad mates want to work with me. And 'cause whenever I try to talk to someone, they always act so tired. My squad, the other trainees, even my teachers, I know they want me processed. I sense it, even when they don't speak to me. Because they all hate me. I don't think that's true. Shirya doesn't hate you. She's in a different squad. She doesn't have to be around me when we do class. If she was always being punished because of me, well, I like you too. How about that? You're just saying that because of your case study thing. No, I mean it. You're a talented artist. Your excitement is infectious. You're much smarter than people give you credit for, and I think you're lovely just the way you are. Oh. Can I ask you something? Go right ahead. Could you visit me as soon as my first processing is over? Of course. I mean, my case study requires it. Pinky swear. Pinky swear. And if you break your promise, you can, break my finger? Oh, really? No, that's not how it... Please don't. But I will come back for you no matter what.
I promise.
Her diary. August 12th. I wasn't prepared for the number of trainees who were happy to be at the YTDI, the number of trainees who were overjoyed just because they had clean clothes and sheets. And money doesn't necessarily buy quality, but Stop really isn't cheaping out on their schooling and board. They're practically throwing money at this program, even if the staff sometimes treat them trainees carelessly. The trainees are giving a rigorous curriculum of math, literacy, physical education, and self-defense, but the instruction is cold. I'm not a teacher, but I know that only I learned to love science because of why can't I say this word? Physics, not psychics. Physics teacher told me I'd be a good fit for her club. If she hadn't shown me personal attention, where would I be now? No amount of punishment could have made me Dr. Lestrange. One time, I watched CO458 and his squadron line up to receive the results of their grammar quiz. It wasn't hard for me to guess how well each trainee did. Some shielded away from their squad mates, others threw their heads back in relief, but when CO458 arrived at the front of the line... What? I have to do another makeup quiz? But I really studied this time. Not hard enough, I'm afraid. The quiz will start at the same time I wrote. See you then. No. That's gonna get in the way of my crafting time. Why can't it be? There's no point in throwing a tantrum. You're going to take the makeup quiz at the time I set, whether you like it or not. Now go. It's rude to hold up the rest of your squadron. Pooh. Again. Alright, everyone. 10-minute penalty. Line up against the whiteboard, quietly. CO58. You'll be in the middle. See, that's just not fair. The teacher is like purposely making the other kids hate him. As CO58 dragged his feet to the front of the class, I watched the other trainees. Some of them rolled their eyes at him, others gave him a bitter glare. Given the way the teachers pitted the trainees against CO458, I wasn't surprised they disliked him. To them, he was a dead weight to their squadron, an underperforming troublemaker. And to me, he was... Seeing no one help him out left an indescribable emptiness in my chest. Children like him aren't dumb. If you treat them this way, they'll learn that their performance determines their worth as a person. I've known college students who found that level of responsibility overwhelming, but these trainees are elementary schoolers. They need coaching to get things through to them. Frankly, I'm surprised there aren't more stragglers. This is so true. This is so true. I acknowledge that the YTDI is a new program, and STOP isn't an educational organization. Growing pains are par for the course, and she's been listening to my criticisms. She's not stonewalling me, but she's defensive and practiced at all of it. She's always ready to fire off statistics in response. Half of the trainees were illiterate before they came here. Now 98 are performing with above metrics. Meanwhile, I ask about my own suggestions for the YTDI and she claims they're in the queue to be heard. There's a long change of command to go through. She is listening to me. Except when it comes to the use of cybernetics. And she says they're helping disabled trainees, but she brushes off the side effects as easily if they were discussing French theories in the classroom. And whenever she does, I can't help but wonder, how are those trainees coping with technology grafted to their bodies? Did they ask for these enhancements? Or do I want my research to be associated with these procedures? Well, I try to be patient with Angie for now. Convincing people takes time. Besides, the YTDI has other problems. The trainees sleep in a... I don't know what this means! No matter where their rooms are, there'll be guards and cameras peering inside. The games, books, and shows they have access to are limited in the themes, and I've seen more than one trainee tense up whenever I pass by their dorm's window. I'm sure that staff are miserable too. The guards eat their meals while they're on duty. The teachers' curriculums are stringent. And it's a wonder the researchers can see their screens while they're blatantly ignoring what's in front of them. If STOP wants to own boarding school division or JROTC program, more power to them, but I wish the YTDI wouldn't be so caliber with cybernetics, overbearing with security measures, draconian with education? I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I want to write. I hope Angie was right about my suggestions being in the queue. I have this dreadful feeling that change can't come soon enough. D. Regular conversations with CO458 have continued. Contrary to what I have witnessed while observing his classroom, he's been inquisitive and willing to cooperate with my study in our one-on-one interactions. It's my firm belief that his intelligence is not below the norm, rather the teaching methods used by the YTDI are inefficient to engage him. What his instructors have labeled as acting out appears to be instead merely an expression of boredom. Considering the number of children the YTDI has under its roof, I do not believe that he is the only trainee having difficulty with their assignments. I've noted that his squad's instructors rarely encourage creative solutions to exercises, and instead prefer completion to task to a set rubric. Standards based on teaching methods often produce results that look good on a spreadsheet, but they rarely result in significant information retention or well-developed critical thinking skills. On top of this, children with learning disorders are often left behind. See, that's exactly. What worries me is that his antics often result in his entire class being punished for his actions. The intent behind this measure is to emphasize that the squad is all a unit. A failure on one's member's part reflects on all of them. Perhaps this is successful in other squads, but in his case, they all seem to have managed to do is... What? What? All they seem to have managed to do is other him from his peers. I guess, okay, that does make sense. I was like, huh? I feel like there's a word missing, but no, that does make sense. What next? Phone? Deidre, did you censor anything from your talks with Tan? From what I can read, she's far from honest. Angie isn't some zealot. She's a brilliant scientist and a dear friend. I just need a little bit more time to get her on my side. It's been 3 months. When I said she was rigged, I wasn't kidding, but you know, talking to her made me think. If we rebuild the YTDI from the inside out, it could be a net positive for children everywhere. 4 months ago, you were afraid that the YTDI would leave you with a foul legacy, that your research on cybernetic rates would make you the mother of cyborg children. Now you want to rebuild the YTDI. If they got rid of the cybernetics, I'm confident that the STOP could turn the YTDI into a competent institution. And competent institutions don't feed kids lab script. I'm not going to burn everything down for a better future. It's not compatible with what you want, Iris. Think, Deidre. STOP is a security organization, not a charity. They offer peace of mind for sale. They do anything to keep world leaders lining their pockets. Why else would they be enhancing children except for their own benefit? They only give cybernetics to physically disabled trainees. I doubt those trainees asked for them. This argument is unproductive, Iris. I feel like Deidre is not seeing the full picture. This is so true. They're kids. They don't understand. They can't consent to just, having their bodies modified. Even if it is quote-unquote, a helpful thing, if someone doesn't want it, how is it helpful to them? Look, let's just say the YTDI was shut down tomorrow, like you clearly want it to be. Where would all of the trainees go? Who else would have the resources and will to take them all in? STOP didn't make the YTDI with kind intentions, I can tell you that much. Don't be so conspiratorial. Don't be so blind. Your research built the foundations for this program. I know. Then speak up. I feel like you can definitely see both sides, but I do think this Iris person is a little bit more correct. I feel like Deidre is only trying to see the positives and ignoring the negatives. August 20th. Where could he have gone? The security board told me that it would be at least another week before he'd return. Of course, they didn't mention anything about processing. Processing. It sounds scientific, but it could mean practically anything, and if it happens to involve cybernetics... No, there's only so much they can do before puberty. It should be minor, maybe even... Why am I still trying to rationalize this? I deferred to STOP and all of its excuses, despite having the proof right in front of me. They want to use my research to modify children. Why? I don't know, and frankly, it doesn't matter. If the YTDI really was serving the greater good, why have Angie and her coworkers acted so evasive, so secretive? I can't afford to be a humble or gracious coward anymore. I know more about cybernetics than every other researcher in their department put together. And yet, I allowed myself to be a coward. I acted respectfully. I never caused a scene because I cared so much more about appeasing STOP than doing the right thing. I can't look away anymore, so they shouldn't be able to either. I'll finish my reports, thrust it in their faces, make them see what they've wrought. I'll be diplomatic even if it means biting my tongue, and I'll write this. There you go, Deidre. Get it. Get him! All cybernetics have limitations. In his case, if he is being modified, then the most they could do is enhance his optic nerves. Still invasive and pervasive, but once he's endured the anesthesia and intense PT regimens, it ultimately won't affect his daily life. They wouldn't risk harming a valuable young subject with anything more extreme. You hope. Hopefully the worst will be over soon. He's still alive. Once he's gone through processing, I'll make every effort to place him in an environment better suited for a child his age. But first, I need to think of an appropriate recovery gift. Something I can fit in my lab coat pockets. Give him a sticker. Wait, what? You want me to hit this? What is this? Interview with S147 or 474. Who is this? We don't know that number. Oh, it's you, Shreya. Thank you for talking with me. I'm sorry, by the way, about how sudden all of this is.
Okay, I can always do my homework tomorrow morning.
Though I might not finish before class starts. Your teachers already know about your interview today. They agreed to give you an extension. I didn't know they gave extensions. They've never given them before? No. In my squad, we're supposed to move at the same pace as each other, like a flock of birds, right? So an extension for someone who falls behind is... From what your teachers have told me, you seem like the leader among your squadron. I got the impression that they didn't expect a misassignment to deter you. Does that make you feel better? Good. Then please introduce yourself.
My name is Trainee S4-174.
You told me your name the first time we met. Why not now?
I didn't want C0-458 to feel alone.
I see. What was your life like before you joined the YTDI? You don't have to talk about anything that makes you uncomfortable. It was very far away from here. I see. Thank you. I'll move on. Question 2. Are you getting along with your squadron? Honestly? Please? Honestly, I feel like I'm trapped inside glass. My squad mates see me. They know I exist, but they don't know how to reach me. And to be honest, I don't know how to reach them either. It probably doesn't help that they're weirded out by my arm. None of my squad mates are missing anything, but that doesn't stop the other kids and other squads from getting along. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Or maybe it's that lady, the one with the messy hair and dangly earrings. You mean Angie? Dr. Tan? What does she... She likes to meet me after class, ask me how I'm doing with the homework, have me write or carry things for a few moments. Sometimes she'll take a roll of measuring tape and wrap it around my arm. If I do well, she'll pat me on my head and give me candy. I thought candy was practically contraband around here. I don't mind any of that, but every time Dr. Angie takes me aside, she and my teachers tell my squad mates to follow my example. And I think some of them are jealous of that. And how do you feel about it? Sick to my stomach. I don't like working. I don't like being in the spotlight. They call me a hard worker, but I was just trying to escape notice. Trying to avoid arguments and fights. The other kids. But my squad mates drag me into their messes anyway. They want Dr. Angie's attention. They want to be praised. They want candy and they... They want to be someone's favorite. My class scares me, Dr. Deidre. We don't have to talk about them anymore if you don't want to. Please. Well then, what do you think of CO-458? I like him. He's my best friend. He told me the same thing. That makes me really happy. When I first came to the YTDI, he was my assigned roommate, and as soon as I entered my dorm, he marched over and swung his hand up to greet me. He had this big goofy grin on his face. I've seen it before. Strangers that act friendly. Bad people with fake smiles that are trying to get something from you. And I didn't know what he wanted from me. So for the first few weeks, I tried to avoid him as much as possible. Finding a quiet corner in the library. Hiding in a bush in the middle of the courtyard. I thought he'd get tired of it in a couple of days, but somehow he'd always find me anyway.
One day, I couldn't stand it anymore. So I just asked him, "Why do you keep bugging me?" And you know what he told me? "You look lonely. I want to be your friend." He wasn't hiding anything. He didn't want anything from me. Somehow, I could just tell he was sincere.
And that's how you two became close. After that, I stuck with him wherever I could. Playing games with him, writing stories together. Sometimes we just sit in silence and read books in the library. I owe a lot to CO-458. Because of him, my dorm's the one place I don't feel like I'm walking on eggshells. But... is something wrong? The camera. Switch it off! BAM, thank you, I'm trying. The voice acting is rough for me. It's a standard model. Video but no audio. There's no need for you to worry. It won't pick up on anything we say. So does she know something? Really? But in class we're told they have microphones. Some of them do, technically, but the mic's limited in range, so it'll only record poor quality sound. And since fixing poor sound is expensive and time-consuming, Stoppy usually keeps the mic off. I see. Did you want to continue? I'm worried about him. You've been watching over him, right? Yes. So you've seen how they treat him in class? Yes. If you stay a bad student, you'll get a nasty punishment. One that'll change your life forever. That's what everyone whispers. When I first heard the rumor, I was terrified. I didn't want him to. Not after everything he did for me. So, I tried helping him after school. I taught him how to concentrate in boring classes, or to fake it, and we read through textbooks together. I even wrote him sheets of study notes. But no matter how hard he tried to get better, he kept getting picked on. Even though he was improving, they kept singling him out and then he told me he was getting processed. Did you know what that means? No. But after he said it, he didn't want to look at me anymore.
They took him away last week. Without him, everything's so quiet. He's not flipping through comic books, or scribbling on his desk, or rummaging through my box of hairbands.
Oh.
Am I a bad friend for thinking he's being punished right now?
I wish I knew what to say. Aren't you a doctor? Don't you know what's happening to him? I'm sorry. I'm as much in the dark as you are. But knowing him, I'm sure he'll be okay. He's a strong boy. You think so? I know so. He is the center of my case study after all. I hope you're right. I think I'll conclude your interview here. You look tired. Do I? Honestly, you look like you're about to fall asleep. Maybe. Would a parting gift help cheer you up? I have a pack of scented stickers. Here, choose whichever one you want.
Thank you, but I'll be alright.
You really don't want one? I thought they were...
Don't worry about me. Dr. Angie has me covered.
I don't
Save
like that.
them for Pavel.
I'm really worried about him now. I'm really worried about him now. (8:14). Focus study has been on hold for a while this subject undergoes processing. Observations of his former squad have continued in the meantime with little to report. Without his presence, classroom time is quiet and proceeds evenly. Conducted short interviews with trainees in his cohort. Anxiety about future graduation is high. Currently seeking clearance to visit him in recovery, while will update after I had the opportunity to do so. Dr. Deidre Lestrange. He's in processing. I won't get to see him for at least another week. I thought there'd be more time, but he's still so small. Is there anything you know about the processing, Iris? Please tell me it's only skin deep. I'm sorry. I never oversaw any of the projects directly. By the time the YTDI was founded, I was already on the way out. Surely you have something on this, Iris. I know you. You keep tabs on everything. Not on this. Processing is kept under specially tight wraps at the YTDI. As you'd guess, it's a step related to cybernetic enhancement, but beyond that, I should have done something. I should have used my authority my expertise to intervene before it was too late. Instead, I stood by the sidelines. I never even raised my voice. I know I've been critical sometimes, harsh even, but I think this would have gone ahead anyways, no matter what you did. Really? From my impression of these people, definitely. How encouraging. Listen. I was given a polite exit, but your name still carries weight at stop. Your case study is compelling and detailed. I have little to no doubt that that boy is going to be more happy to see you once he's out there. You just need to save your strength for the right time. And when that time comes, don't take no for an answer. Thank you, Iris. I just hope I'm not too late. Oh, I really think something bad is happening to him. I don't see, like, why the processing would need to be, like, so undercover. I don't understand. If it's not something big and scary, then why?
Good afternoon, CO458.
Oh, he's there. Should I mod YouTube? If you would like to, maybe. My chat box was completely, like, disabled for some reason. It just disappeared on me. I was like, I haven't checked in on YouTube in a second because I haven't seen any messages and it was just gone. So I was like, what the heck? But yes, yes, M is here. Let's see. Let me see if I can pin this real quick. Let me pin my chat box. For some reason, it just keeps disappearing. Yeah. Let me put a message in chat. There we go. I think that person's already gone, but I can't help it. My chat box disappeared on me. Not my fault. Well, kind of my fault. Kind of my fault. But okay. I see you're back from processing.
Dr. Deidre? You came.
You sound surprised. I promised I'd visit, didn't I? Yeah, but... It's been a really long week. I kinda wondered if you've forgotten. Never. What's on the floor? Oh, it's just a puzzle piece. Shirya was finishing it while I was gone, but when I was wheeled back in, it got trampled on. Shirya wasn't happy about that. I can't imagine. Ahem. Here, I got you something. I figured you need to pick me up after processing. Oh my god, fruit Gushies? Fruit Gushies? Whoa, instead of Gushers, it's Gushies. They're snacks from the outside. I promise they taste nothing like script. Okay, I want to know what script is. I don't know if that's a real thing or, like, is that something just, like, made up for the game? Like, I'm assuming it's artificial food, you know? I'm assuming it's artificial food. I didn't know that they made food so colorful. Hi Garrett, welcome in, Gushies. See, I can see you guys now. I don't know what was going on with my YouTube chat box, but I couldn't see it for like over an hour. My goodness. But hello chat, welcome. Welcome. I didn't know they made food so colorful and tasty. Glad I picked out something good. So, what have you been up to since processing? Just resting? Well, I'm trying, but Shiri keeps bringing me classwork. I thought I didn't have to study anymore. That's very rude of them. I'm sorry. You know, I've been thinking. You don't have to call me that. You can call me Pavel. For the sake of the case study, I really shouldn't. Did you break protocol for the gummies? Alright, I'm sorry, Pavel. Much better. Is having a proper name important for you? Indeed it is. It's a big deal for you too. Not just anybody gets to call me by my true name. Oh. Yeah. It's like I'm letting you use it. You and no one else. You're my inner circle. You get to know my secret identity. Like a superhero, huh? Exactly like a superhero. Got it. I'll keep hush-hush then. Have you been outside this processing room? No. When I said I was bedridden, I wasn't exactly exaggerating. Thanks. You've always got the right word for me. But yeah, being bedridden is really starting to bug me. It's like I've got a house cold. You mean cabin fever? Whatever. They're the same thing anyways. Then, what happened during your processing? Well, I was kinda like getting teeth cleaned. Like one moment I was laying on this long hard table and they've got this big light over me. Kinda looked like a spider with like a bunch of eyes and legs. The light was super bright underneath and I was surrounded by all these doctors in white uniforms and masks. I was told to count down from 60, so I did, but then I fell asleep before I could finish. And then I woke up and... Whoa! Why did they take his legs? Whoa! What happened? Was there something wrong with your legs? Wrong? No, nothing was wrong with them. But now they can give me better legs. You know, an upgrade. Better ones! Ones that'll help me jump faster or higher. Like a real superhero, you know. Really, it's okay. If I just practice hard. I believe you, Pavel. You don't have to move. Please. See, this just proves that they're a bad company. They literally lied to us then. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. It literally kind of shows what happens because you see the way that the blanket folds? There's like, it stops at some point and goes flat. Oh my god. Crazy foreshadowing and design choice. So that means Angie completely lied to us. She said that they were only like giving cybernetics to children who needed it for like a disability or something. He just straight up said nothing was wrong with him. They just took his legs. Oh my god. You're very brave. Do you know that, Pavel? Of course I'm brave. Brave like a hero. Here, hide these under your pillow.
Make them count. I'll be back in a week. Promise.
See you again, Dr. Deidre. We're gonna break this kid out. When are we gonna break him out of here? I'm ready to go to war now. I'm actually fuming. I'm ready to go to war. I'm ready to fight God. I can't be a part of this. No one should be a part of this. It's not enough to leave. The fact that anything like this could happen in a modern facility? Maybe it was always naive to think that only one case study could fix Stop. But if so, what then? What now? September 9th. I'm absolutely appalled by the YTDI initiative decision to perform major amputation on trainee 458. Improvements in synchronization rates are irrelevant. This technology was only ever invented to use for adults, save for the rare exceptions. The relatively static state of an adult body allows for easier constructive of prosthetics, and only a mentally mature individual can be responsibly expected to endure the inevitable side effects of cybernetic implantation. Let me be clear. Reject symptoms are not a risk. They are an I can't say this word. Inevitability. For all the enhancements in biotech over the past few decades, there have not been enough to stop the body from revolting against artificial neurons when they are stitched to its muscles, or from realizing that the hunk of polyurethane and silicone in its skull is not part of its gray matter. Medication can suppress the body's immune response and stave off seizures, but it's a patch, not a long-term solution. Despite these facts, 458 was approved for a full transfemoral amputation and implant preparation procedure. I cannot conceive of a scenario that justifies the callous removal of 2 completely healthy limbs from a young child. The fact remains that his quality of life has been significantly impacted for no reason beyond the YTDI's goals. If this is the level to which YTDI is allowed to conduct itself, then it's clear to me that STOP has become little better than organizations it once worked to squash. There is no theoretical threat or future crime that justifies what I have witnessed. If this is what my research is supporting now, then I would rather have never pursued it in the first place. Dr. Deidre. September 3rd. They took his legs. As if stripping him of his name wasn't enough, they ripped his legs off of his body. Why? I can't think of any good reason for this. Pavel, Sunlight that he is, said that they planned to give him better ones. He even tried to prove it in spite of his pain. And the worst part is, it's not over. He hasn't even graduated yet. The last time I tried to visit him, he'd been taken back for further processing. I had to find out from Shreya of all people. The guards have been... The guards barely seemed to care. Asking about his absence was like asking about the garbage being taken out earlier. Someone else did the work, so they didn't even know. They said that all of this while looking at me with that expression that they were on duty. One of malice. No, not malice. Malice? I don't know these big words. Of superiority. Of contempt. Funny how they press the kids to smiling obedient while adults look like bored children. When I entered their room, I noticed distinct coldness in the air. Shreya looked awful. Had she been eating properly? She seemed so frail. Like she was taken to an operating... If she was taken to an operating table now, her chances of survival. I have to leave Stop, and YTDI has to go with me. I don't want any of this to be my legacy. Ha, as if. What's an academic supposed to do against an intergovernmental organization with unlimited resources and an ever-growing supply of cybernetic muscle? Maybe I can follow Iris's example. This case report will be my indictment of Stop. My voice should still be able to carry importance to damn it on its way out of the door. But if I try to make it with an impact, will my... What? But what if I try to make an impact with my exit instead of leaving quietly? What'll happen next? If I say anything about those cages the kids were kept in, the courts will bury me, and I have to hope that Stop doesn't single me out extrajudicially. And if they do, I'll have to kiss my future academic opportunities goodbye. But so what? They can't expect me to keep quiet after everything I've seen. That one conversation with Angie still makes my blood boil. We were observing a physical education class. The kids were told to run laps to the point of exhaustion, and knowing the YTDI, they probably were forced to run past the point for research purposes. While the teachers were tending to them, Angie leaned over and whispered to me, "Look at how strong they're growing. Healthy and smart and tough as nails. Isn't it incredible?" Then she looked back at the ranks and scoured. But there are still stragglers. Gotta iron out all the kinks eventually. After she said that, she turned back to me. You know, if that squadron were enrolled in public school, some... PSHE teacher would be coddling them by now. None of them would ever know just how much they could achieve with just a little bit more pressure. With just one more push from someone who knows how much they can take. Back in school, if I knew this kid, born with a hole in their heart, maybe some large ASD, they had it rough, but they were perceived, didn't pity themselves, had pride, but teachers insisted on coddling them, waiting for them hand and foot, carrying their books, giving them extra exam time, letting them skip phys ed. The adults around them let their condition detain their life. By the time we graduated, I barely recognized them, ended up more of a ghost than a person. If I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have let them fail themselves like that. Does she think we're still friends? I've been speaking to her less and less, but now she's basically talking to herself, and I hate seeing that inner ugliness rear its head. Wow. As soon as Pavel's healthy enough to graduate, I'll make my move, but I'm not leaving Stop without him. So she finally sees what Iris has been saying. I've got my 2 weeks notice lined up with Pavel's estimated graduation. The moment he's out of the system, I'm taking him and leaving. Smartest thing you've said in a while. Do you have any concerns? It's possible that they won't let him graduate. Promises for services rendered don't mean... What? Rendered don't mean much to people who mutilate children. And if my case study is half as explosive as I'm hoping it to be, it's not the kind of thing that Stop will let circulate for long. There are plenty of people out there willing to listen to you. Not after I slander an international beloved crime-fighting organization. We don't have friends in PR or allies in the media. It'd be easy to point me as another disgruntled former employee, disappointed with a lack of direction in her career and looking for a book deal. Sorry, Deidre. I wish I could tell you that won't happen, but if things do go shit on your end, allow me to give you a silver lining. When Pavel gets out, and he will, you can bring him here. Oh, that's the house in the first game. Iris, once upon a time, it was a garage. Then it was an unrealized research lab with some living quarters. Now it's yours. It's no 5-star hotel, but it's not too bad this time of year. There's even a river nearby. Okay, so that confirms that Pavel is in fact caution. I don't know what to say. You're just giving that to me? What did you expect? I'm a wealthy woman with very few hobbies. I would have ended up renting it out if I even remembered it was there. Much better for the two of you to get some use out of it. Thank you, Iris. I really mean it. I already owe you so much. Hey, the place isn't that big. I'll keep that in mind. You'd better. I don't want to hear any complaints about it being cramped down the line. Stay safe, DJ. I'll try. We gotta get the boy and run. Y'all, we gotta get that kid. Oh! Ooh. Question mark. Oh, we're running.
Whoa, D.
Don't even talk to me, Angie.
There's a fire drill going on?
What? Oh, no, I was looking for Pavel. I can't find him anywhere. Pavel? Who's... Oh. CO-458. Well, it's okay. I'm certain he's around here somewhere. I mean, it's safe here. It's not like he could have just wandered off. Yeah, because you cut his legs off. No, of course not. And yes, it is very safe here. What? I'm not convinced that any of this is necessary. You're talking about processing? For starters. D, post-op is never going to look pretty. You know that. You've seen it thousands of times. On soldiers, volunteers, adults. You didn't see the places we pulled these kids out of. Filthy, overcrowded, underfunded. The facility's very clean and very well funded. That doesn't make it right. Whatever your justifications are, I'm not sure I appreciate your tone. We've been nothing but transparent with you from the beginning. We've given you complete access to our building, our resources, even our subjects. So she admits she calls them subjects and not children now. I had to fight for you, you know. Then why wasn't I notified about Pavel's processing? Maybe you weren't on the right mailing list. There are no conspiracies here, D. You of all people had to have known exactly what the initiative goals are. Angie, look, I'm not in the mood to argue medical ethics with you in a goddamn hallway. He's in recovery. He's fine. What? How?
This isn't some back alley surgeon for hire operation. We know what we're doing. Do you?
I don't think you do know what you're doing. You cut off a kid's legs just for science. Perfectly healthy, able-bodied child. Just cut them off for science. And it can't even consent to that.
Awful? Are you?
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh God. Your head. Your hair. Your eye. It's...
Dr. Deidre?
Oh my God. Pavel, wait. So is this leading up to the photos we saw in the first game? I've got you. Just stay right there. Has anybody been here to take care of you? Oh. Well, I think so. Shira's been here a few nights. Hasn't said much though. I pretend to be asleep because I think she might be scared of me now. She's probably worried about you. I'll go and ask her, okay? Okay. I really don't want to upset her. You don't have to worry about anything upsetting anyone, okay? You haven't done anything wrong. How are you feeling? I don't know. Tired and weird. It's alright. I'm scared. My graduation is soon. Does graduation mean death or something? Cause holy shit, they have fucked this kid up. My graduation is soon and I'm scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. What else will they do to me? Just close your eyes for me, okay? Pavel? He's asleep. Wow. I need to fight Angie. I need to actually obliterate her. They're gonna tear him apart. Rearrange him again and again, and not just him. All the other trainees here. All the other children yet to come. Over and over and over, and for what? This is my fault. My research laid the foundation for this. My reputation funded this. I let this happen. I did this. There has to be something I can do. No, I have to do something. Something more than writing words on a goddamn page. That's it. I'll break him out. Prevent him from graduating. Burn this program down to the ground, at least we leave. At this point, this isn't even a call for justice. It's just plain cause and effect. September 16th. Okay, so is this must be why she becomes a villain now. I'm going to destroy my life's work. They'll have to update the textbooks. A small footnote at the bottom of the page in the back of the index. Dr. Deidre Destrain went on to commit multiple terrorist acts. We in no way, shape, or form approve of her blah blah blah. Fine by me, so as long as they leave my name in. A curious kid might search for a crazy lady's name on the internet, find a case report written about her and give it a read. Better a Pyra who speaks the truth than a diligent researcher who can't stand to look at it. She's gone crazy, but I support this. I support woman's crazy. As I walk through the YTDI halls, my stomach drops whenever I pass the spots I'll rig. Oh, we're gonna blow it up! Oh, shit! The guards just still stand around and glower at the kids. They're still combat-ready professionals. I can't read anymore. More than a match for little old me. If they ever catch onto my plans, they could drop me before I even enter the building. Funny. I haven't feared others being able to hear my thoughts since I was in college. I remember feeling quite guilty when I learned about thermal runaway and lithium batteries. When I realized how easily this knowledge could be reapplied, I was convinced that there was something wrong with me. Maybe I was right back then. Compared to my usual work, making bombs is dead simple. I spend most of my time planning how I'd space out the fertilizer purchases. Looking back on it, smuggling Pavel's snacks made it a fine trial run. I have surefire proof that the guards won't check me. So why am I still so anxious? It's not just my legacy, and it's not just the process itself. I'm afraid of what will happen to Pavel after all of this. I can house him, thanks to Iris. I have money, I can cook, but there's still so much I don't know about Pavel. How will I be able to care for his medical needs? How will I educate him? Will freeing him doom him to a life in hiding? And Shreya? And the other children? And every other poor soul that's been victimized by this program? Where will they go once I'm gone? Even if I could house them all, they wouldn't be free to leave. No would stop on their tail. I have to move them from a spacious cell to a cramped one next to a river. Still. I'll never forgive myself if I left Pavel behind. My research led him to getting hurt. I won't let that happen again. I've done all the planning I can. For now, I think a eulogy to a life of service is in order. To my colleagues, the good ones, I hope you've been working from home. To the rest, you've got no right to complain about what comes next. And to stop, this is war. Plant any more seeds and I'll salt the earth. D. Nine. I met with Pavel today. I'm not calling him this. He's got a name. Engaged in normal conversation and activities with the subject. Pavel became tired shortly into the session, so the visit was cut short after about an hour. Pavel's temperature and blood pressure appeared to be higher than normal levels during the visit, recommending an increase in immunosuppressant dosage. Recovery otherwise appears to be on pace with expected timeline. Do you think I'm doing the right thing? I'm not trying to hurt anyone. I just want to get Pavel out. Aren't you doing precisely that? Yes. But there's a growing list of asterisks. I can't save the other children. The numbers just don't work. And how does that make you feel? Like garbage. Where will they go? They know nothing about the real world. Kids are tougher than you think. Not tougher than Stop. You'll be surprised they'll adapt. That doesn't make me feel any better. I doubt anything could right now. What about a confession? I wanted all of this. The recognition, the respect, the budgets, the pay. You know, before I came to Stop, I took 5 internships in one summer. Barely got my foot out the door before I added them to my CV and never looked back. And we all do. That's the game we play. I liked that game. I was good at it. And there's a sizable cowardly portion of me that doesn't want to give it up. And you're worried about Dr. Tan and the rest? Despite myself? Yes. That's just the kind of person you are. In case we don't get a chance to reconnect for a while, let me say this. Every system falls apart eventually. It's entropy. Fire forests are natural and healthy. Fire forest? Can I read? Forest fires are natural and healthy. Stop is no exception. If people are horrified by your findings and your methods, that's for the best. They'll quit. They'll leave in droves, and you'll have gotten them out of a dark hole. And if I hurt people, then you'll just have to make up for it. And the kids, they'll be strong. Even if their new lives aren't cushy or clean, their lives will be lives that they choose for themselves. Again, that's not reassuring. I know. Very little is right now. You have a lot to answer for, D. You're already a history maker. From here on, I'm sure you'll be making history in a good way. Try to remember that when you eat breakfast with Pavel. Then, is this goodbye? It has to be. But you'll be in my home. I'll be there in some way. In fact, the sheets might still smell like me. Iris, gross. Apologies, couldn't help myself. But you don't need me anymore. You'll do good. You always have. Thank you. Take care now. You'll always be my star pupil, DJ. I trust you'll remember me as your mentor and friend. Hopefully, when you're retired and peacefully birdwatching. Goodbye. I'll miss you, Dr. Kai. Let's go blow this shit up. Wow.
Hello, Pavel.
Oh, good afternoon, Dr. Daedra.
Feeling alright? Me? It'd take a lot more than this to... It's okay. You can be honest. Did your graduate training not go well? It was scary. Scary and confusing. Could you tell me what happened? What the training was like? They've been running tests on the chip they put in my head. When it turns on, it's like my brain squeezed into a box or a minecart. It can only go on the tracks. Does that sound scary? Yeah. I had to do all these stupid reflex exercises, and after that, they made me solve math problems and other dumb stuff. all while they looked at me over their clipboards and data pads. So far, I've been doing good. I was doing everything they wanted, even when it felt weird. It felt like someone was looking over my shoulder. Only that shoulder wasn't there, and that somebody was me. And somebody else was moving my body, speaking for me. Speaking for me like it wasn't my body anymore. I was just so scared. It was gross and strange and deep breaths, Pavel. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I did something bad. I was upset. I couldn't help it. I couldn't. Pavel? Pavel? Oh my god. I've got you, Pavel. I've got you. You're safe. I'm gonna call emergency services right now. You'll be okay, I promise. Shit. Shit, shit, shit! He's on his side, there's nothing in his way, and I've set a timer for 5 minutes. I've done everything I can, but why isn't the emergency call button working? It worked for another trainee, I've seen it before. The maintenance teams always check it. There's something wrong with his. I'm assuming he's having a seizure? Because I think they mentioned that in the first game. No. No, 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 no. They wouldn't. They wouldn't dare. Dr. Dietrich?
Pavel? It's okay, Pavel. It's okay. I'm here.
You had a, yeah, you had a seizure, but you're safe, and I've cleaned you up. It's okay.
Why? Why did they do this to me? Why? It hurts. They want to hurt me. They want to punish me, don't they? It's 'cause I'm broken. That's why they want to fix me to be like the other kids. I can't stay alive, and I never will. They're gonna keep taking me apart until I break. Taking me apart piece by piece like this forever.
Pavel, you have to calm down for me, alright? You're going to make yourself sick. It'll be okay. It's over now. I'm sure this won't hurt anyone anymore. I mean it. Yeah, we gotta kill them. We just gotta kill all these people. It's justified at this point. Okay. 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 I gave Pavel a glass of water to sip. His hands are shaking, so I hold the water for him. After that, I get him into bed, tuck him in, and wish him good night, stroke the little amount of hair left on his head, and then I close the door behind me and walk out of the room. The door behind me clicks shut. I don't have the words to describe what I just witnessed, but I don't need 10 pages to sum up what I feel. Disgust. They took away his medication. His medication! How in any world is that justifiable as a punishment? He could have died. Pavel gets hammered down because he sticks out, and any kid would do the same. He's suffering like this. There's no doubt other trainees are. I need to talk to Angie. Now. I can't believe she's overlooked this for so long. Before I leave for good, I need to look her in the eyes and try to make her make sense. I think we should just, pew-pew her. That would fix everything. I find Angie at the bridge, gazing at the courtyard below. She looks just like she did the first day I came here. She hasn't changed at all. As I approach, she turns to give me an unreadable look. For a moment, I barely recognized her. For a moment, Part of me wants to believe she's someone else entirely.
I imagine you're here to talk about C0458.
I pause. That was unusually direct of her. What do you mean? It's the 21st century, D. We've got cameras in every room. I suddenly remember Shriya, her gazing up at the corner of the room, her eyes dark with fear. You were watching the whole time? She blinks. You saw how I called for help. You saw him go into a seizure because he wasn't given his medication. We don't know that. A lot of the trainees hate taking it. They'll put it under their tongue or, that's bullshit and you know it. You are a prestigious these are your prestigious test subjects. Invaluable troves of medical data. If you wanted to, you could go get a doctor in any room in this building in seconds. What are you suggesting? It's not a suggestion. You're punishing him for what happened during his graduate training. There's a long silence. The tension in the air twists my stomach in knots. She's choosing her next words very carefully, tasting them in her mouth, rolling them around like a boiled sweet. Nostalgia laps at me for a moment, a warm pull at the back of my mind. She used to do this before her research presentations, worrying the inside of her cheek as she weighted my feedback. Maybe you're right. But does it matter, Dee? She doesn't even look back. Excuse me? Does what happened to him matter that much? Once he passed graduate training, he's got a stable career out ahead of him. He won't want for food, housing, or guidance. I can't believe what I'm hearing. In exchange for his legs, his brain, his individuality? Individuality.
What are you, a teenager?
Yeah, I need that pew-pew right now.
Everyone's gotta grow up sometime.
I'm gonna push you over this railing. I bit down on my tongue. As much as I want to, cursing her won't get me anywhere.
What's happening isn't complicated, Dee. You've gotten too attached to your subject of research. You've lost sight of your objectivity.
He's not a subject of research. That's a child that you're literally torturing.
That's all. Happens to the best of us sometimes.
Yeah, if you push her, I'll look
Even
away.
you.
I'll look away if you want to push her. She turned back to look at me, but she isn't seeing me. She's done talking. The feeling's mutual. Nah, push her. Go ahead. I'll wait. I'll close my eyes. I won't hear anything. Earlier in the day, I had printed out my case study. I'd intended to go through it with a red pen. That night, I fed it to the shredder, page by page. Months of work, gone in moments. It was the best I felt in ages. October 1st. In a matter of minutes, I'm going to burn down my entire career. Maybe it's fitting that the planning reminded me of how I designed my first cybernetic hand, linking each step to the next titanium phalanges. While I filed documents, I studied the blind spots in the security. I learned what patrols didn't visit as often, and where security cameras didn't cover the whole room. I participated in fire drills to search for evacuation routes so that I could avoid them. Fighting back against the YTDI's electronic security was almost easier. Stopping rebels and terrorists back in Stop Heyday had given me a healthy perspective on tech security. DNA signatures, like the one attached to our key cards, should be spoofed, and an electric lock was useless once you cut its power. As soon as I went through every step, I expected someone to stop me. A guard who'd catch me leaving packages in a dark corner, or a lab tech who'd find the files I was taking out suspicious. But no one noticed. Even when I slipped into the security room to inject a virus into their system, I told the staff I was doing an inspection. They looked the other way. Maybe they live hand-to-mouth lives. Maybe they hate the YDDI as much as I do and want to see it burned to the ground. Whatever the truth is, I'm not interested in psychoanalyzing lower-level staff. I have one job, and I intend to see it through. Getting to Pavel will be simple. I'll enter his room through the small door in the back. No one will suspect me. They'll think I'm conducting another checkup. Just another insane interview to pad out my case study. Escaping will be a much more complicated task. The security cameras are disabled. The security alarms rewired. The safety alarms rewired. And the escape routes plotted. If things go pear-shaped, there are pyrotechnics I set up ahead of time. Once I trigger the siren, I can't predict who or what'll get in the way. My heart's pounding feverishly, my brain swirling with phrases and countermeasures and backups. I'm painfully aware of every step and every breath I take. Because once I open the dorm room door, there's no going back. I still have a way out. I can't leave this behind and go back to my old life. Cut ties would stop quickly, retire quietly to a bucolic existence with honors and accolades to my name. Bury my regret and rage in the back of a well-tended flower bed. But if I don't open this door, Pavel will continue suffering. He might not survive graduation. Even if he does, he'll become a nameless drone, a shell of a person marching through life, armed with clockwork thoughts and a plastic smile. I can't abandon him. Not to that. Is he on the bed? I don't think he is. Pavel? I'm gonna come closer, okay? Dr. Deidre? Now listen to me very carefully. I want to give you something. Oh. Wait, is it another snack? It's better. Oh! We're gonna let him blow it up.
Pavel, do you want control?
Control over what? Your future. I've never really thought about my future. Would you like to? You can take your time. I understand what I'm asking. Yeah.
I do, Dr. Deidre. I want control.
Then take the switch and press this button. As soon as you do, you'll be free.
Let's go.
Oh. I take Pavel by the hand and gently guide him out of the bed. His legs clack against the tile. He wobbles. Do you need help? I ask quietly. We have a lot of ground to cover and every second's crucial. But if he's in pain, it's okay, Pavel responds. It clearly takes him some effort, but he grins up at me. What better way to get used to these legs than a prison break? Despite everything, I chuckle. In between the pulses of the siren, I can hear the hurried footsteps of staff and trainees rushing down the hallway. I take his hand as we walk through the door I came through. Neither of us look back. The back hall of the dormitory is empty. The alarm lights in the wall blink as angry red, confused personnel jog past us on their way to the emergency stairwell. We walk at first, trying to keep my hammering heart controlled as we round the hallway. We're still too visible. I can't help but imagine a security officer behind every door as we pass. I squeeze Pavel's hand tighter and he squeezes it back. His steps are shaky. They shouldn't be. Those idiots in processing couldn't even be bothered to calibrate the motors right. But he's stable. And in spite of everything he's been through, he's keeping pace with me. Then I see it. An imposing door with a blinking key reader beside it. An exit out of the dormitories. Past it, there are lay operating facilities and engineering. Beyond that, the shipping and receiving bay. And further still, the garage door. Our way out. Normally, this part of the facility would be swarming with initiative personnel, but with the alarms I triggered, all of them should have evacuated to the other side of the building. I don't even swipe my card. The latch clicks open when I push it. Suddenly, my steps are faster, my heartbeat louder, and before I know it, I'm running. Pavel trips on the first step, and we nearly crash into each other before he corrects himself. But we run, hand in hand, past the operating rooms. I can't read that fast! And the officers and open security shutters until, without warning, Pavel's legs buckle. They crumple under him like wet paper, sending him sprawling. I fell to my knees beside him and struggled to pull him upright. What's happening? Pavel asks. I can't answer him. My eyes go to his legs. The lights are on. The battery hasn't run out, but they're not responding to him. I can see him trying to move what's left of his legs, and the cybernetics won't react. My eyes fall on the stop logo at his ankle. I look up and shudder as we pass, and the security camera blinking on beside it. Shit, I breathe. Dr. Deidre? I almost want to laugh, even as my mounting panic threatens to overtake me. Anti-theft measures. They don't want anyone taking stop property outside of the building. I hear yelling echoing back in the hallway we came through, distant but growing louder. They know where we are. What should we do? Pavel asked, his voice wavering. Dr. Deidre, I don't want them to find us. Sit still. Quickly, I move to detach his legs. I leave them on the ground, sweep him into my arms, and bolt. He clings to me, his fingernails digging into my back through my clothes. His left arm dangles out of my grasp. He's light, far lighter than he should be. As I run for the exit, I squeeze him as close as I can to me. Oh! A security shutter suddenly slams shut in front of me. I turn to pivot. Boom. One more comes down over each of the doors in the hallway, falling into place as heavy tombstones. Damn it! Damn it! I bite back a scream. Try to focus on facts. Security's at my back. I can hear them getting closer. Combat boots on tile, heavy and hurried. With every second I sit here panicked and paralyzed, they stomp closer to us. I squeeze my eyes shut. I can feel cold steel gun barrels at my back. Cuffs, bindings, straitjackets, Pavel ripped away from my arms, disposed of as effective goods or reprogrammed into ideal products. I can't bear the thought. I reach into my lab coat and pull out a second switch and press it. Ooh! Wow. The explosions rip through the hall with a force unlike anything I've ever felt before. They tear through the shutter, blasting me with heat and smoke and debris that nicks my cheek. I run straight into it as if more and more explosions go off through the facility, my hidden bombs going off like exothermic dominoes. A burst of red and blinding heat sears my right side, probably scathing shrapnel. I rush to the pain, running as fast as I can. My ears are ringing. My muscles scream, my throat stings, all that there is heat, ash, and pain. Until finally... we make it out. We reach the light. Oh. Oh. Ha. Ha. Wow. I can't believe I actually made it. Pavel, I think we're... His arm! It's bloody. Pavel? Pavel, oh god. Your arm, it's all...
Pavel, please. Speak to me.
Has he been losing too much blood?
Blue.
What?
The sky. It's so blue.
Oh, I haven't seen it in so long.
You're hurting. Please don't push yourself. You're already bleeding so much.
But I'll live. 'Cause I'm no longer there.
Oh,
I'm free now, aren't I?
Yes. Yes. You are.
that's the picture from the first game. Wow. That's the ending. We did it. We escaped. Wow. I'm gonna be so for real. There's very few times when I genuinely think that the second game of a series is better than the first. This one was amazing. This was absolutely spectacular. If you haven't seen the first game, check out my playthrough, because obviously you're gonna kind of need that. And I really do think that the second game is so much more impactful here if you actually play the first game and watch the first game. We see why Caution, who is Pavel, by the way, Caution is in fact Pavel. We see that the reason Caution is, you know, the way that they are is because they've literally been tortured. Like, they went through so much torture. We also learned more about Deirdre and why she chose to become a supervillain. Bonus content. I like bonus content. But also, I think honestly, if I had to replay the first game now, looking back at it, I think I absolutely couldn't side with the main character that we play as, who is a stop agent who has been captured by Caution. Like, 100% I'm on their side. Oh my god. This was awesome. This was amazing. But also, I really like that this game highlights what it's like for kids who, you know, might have like disabilities, learning disabilities, physical disabilities in a school system. That is a great storytelling, you know, story to show that you can't force everyone into, you know, a flock, as they said. There's always going to be outliners, because forcing people into an environment, a learning environment, a strict, I should say, learning environment, does not work for everyone. That is not how learning should be. That's not what school should be like. So, as someone whose favorite anime is in fact Assassination Classroom, that hit really hard, because education is going to be different for everyone, and you can't force that on people. You can't force people to, you know, be able to learn one way. It's a thing that depends on the person, you know? But this was amazing. I love this game through and through. I have very hard time saying that, like, the second game of a series is better than the first. This is amazing. This was amazing. I love this one. 100% recommend it.